Today, I am going to show you how easy it is to make a Regal-inspired nightstand using the new Zuri molds. Come create with me. The first mold I'd like to show you is the new Baroque Lion silicone mold. It consists of two opposite-facing lions perched on a decorative colonnade, a medallion featuring a crowned lion face, and an additional decorative piece in the same style as the colonnades. The second piece is the diamond veil silicone lace mat. As you can see, this is a very thin and flexible piece while also being quite large. The third and final set I will be working with is the Baroque onlays. This set contains 1 large piece, 6 medium, and 8 smaller. As the name implies, these are highly decorative and intricate molds. All 3 of these new releases have been designed specifically to be used on furniture. I personally prefer using resin in my molds for all of my furniture pieces. I feel like it is more durable than clay over the long run and gives me more options to work with it after it is dried. You will be able to see later in this video how I am able to manipulate even the thickest molds to get a custom fit. These 3 molds are very large and deep. They took 36 ounces of resin to completely fill. As a side note, be careful not to overfill your molds. It just makes your life easier in the long run. Once everything is poured, the waiting begins. I usually use this time to start some cleanup of my tools and catch a few quick snuggles with my pups. Okay, everything is nice and solid white and none of them are sticky to the touch. Starting with the easiest first, I removed the lace mat. As you can see, it produced a gorgeous mold. Moving on to the Baroque set, you can see I have just a little difficulty getting a few of them out. This is primarily due to the thickness of the mat and the detail in the designs. But if you watch closely, you can see me working the mat side to side on all angles of the mold to help gently pop it out instead of just forcing it from one side. This method will preserve all of your fine detailing. I use the same technique when demolding the Baroque lions. Everything is out and all the excess has been trimmed, so now I'm ready to move down to the workshop. Okay, so what I didn't show you before is that I actually poured 2 of the lace mats because I knew I wanted them for the side panels of my nightstands. So after taking the measurements of the inserts, I marked off how much I needed to remove from each mat. Then, using my Dremel with a cutting attachment, I made several shallow passes, getting a little deeper each time instead of trying to take it all in one bite. Not wanting to Dremel into my work table, I finished it off with the blade and then snapped it off. That part was so satisfying, not gonna lie. Using my ever-faithful original tacky glue, I did a few lines on the inset. Because I knew I had gotten a super tight fit, I didn't feel the need to overglue. They weren't ever going anywhere. But if they had been loose, I would have done a solid coat of the glue. To get the fit this tight, I cut it a little big and then used my sander. Yes, my sander. This resin is no joke, people. To knock it down bit by bit in a rubber mallet to gently pop it in place. To be clear, all of this is after I put the glue down. As I shared earlier, these are thick and intricate pieces. So to help with getting paint in all of those nooks and crannies, I painted some of the smaller areas before applying them to the piece. The front of this nightstand is serpentine. If you're not familiar with this style, a serpentine piece of furniture is characterized by its curved or bowed front, resembling a gentle S shape. It's a classic style from the 18th and 19th centuries. I knew this style and these molds would complement each other fantastically, but the shape also made things more tricky, so I had to get creative. To be able to use the molds where I wanted on the front, I heated them one at a time with my heat gun until they were pliable, and then I attached them with hot glue. By using hot glue, it kept the molds workable until I got them into the exact place and shape I wanted them. Once everything was on it, it was time for paint. I chose a deep and richly pigmented navy for the entire piece. Over the molds, I brushed gold paint to highlight and help define all those gorgeous details. I didn't want anything to draw attention away from the molds, and I also wanted it to be one cohesive vision. So I decided to take two of the molds I hadn't used and glue them to some small, nondescript hardware I had left over from another project and create poles out of them. I finished the piece off with some scrolling at the bottom and gold detailing around the top. This was a really different style of piece for me, but I truly enjoyed working through all of the obstacles it presented. Keep watching for next month's project and tutorial. Until then, love y'all.